Except that was only live and it didn't get recorded until just now. Get out of here with the cat. Go away. God, my kid loves to do that. All right, we are live. And also very chaotic start. Something about ditches and liches and romance and necromancy. I don't really understand what's going on. I know I'm Omar Creek. That's about the best I can tell you, which is a really sad state of affairs. So that's the only thing I can tell you is my name. This is Warhammer 40,000 Rogue Trader, Tithes of Acheron, Segmentum 4, The Troubles at Taslak, Episode 3. Previously, there was a space battle, there was conundrums, there was chaos, there was critical hits that we're not going to change. What happened, we are going to change what we do moving forward. We were doing the critical hits wrong last episode. Instead of rolling 1d, or rather, we were rolling 1d10 to determine what type of critical hit it was. What we should have been doing was rolling 1d5s. And the rules are a bit more clear, but I'm not going to go into all that because that's a lot to try to explain to people who may or may not be following along. So, with that in mind, moving forward, the ship that suffered basically the severe power outage, they're going to be able to resolve their stuff in 3 rounds. Question is whether or not something else will happen to them in the intervening time. Let's do a little bit of intros really quick. Rev, what's new and exciting? Nothing. Outstanding. I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Do you know why you should never date a necromancer?
Oh, God, I'm scared.
Because they are only interested in your body.
Sounds about actually.
The other thing, do you know why necromancers are so vain?
I don't know. I'm scared to know, in fact.
Because they're really into bodybuilding.
Somebody help me. So, you're done. That was your chance. Darius, what's new and exciting for you? I hope you made wise choices with that.
A friend is always welcome at the shield.
Nope. Darius, please help me.
Hey, Omar.
Nope.
What's the password?
Clearly, somebody either did not read or chose to ignore what was written.
Where?
In the Discord post that had the link to the Zoom meeting that we are all participating in. Darius.
There was a post?
Darius, please, take it away.
Who flicked my piece off the board?
I think you know. What?
Nothing. Just go on, please, please. We need to stop letting Rev have all the freaking entertainment value here.
Okay. Past week, I don't know that anything really changed.
I mean, that's always a valid answer or question, option, whatever.
Yeah, just the normal. I've been gaming. I've been reading. My life's pretty boring.
Sometimes that's totally fine. Totally okay.
Boredom.
What is going on? My screen and everything on here is just weird. I'll fix that when we move on. Alturios, what's new and exciting with you?
Nothing really. We missed our last D&D game because one of our guys had personal issues come up. Yeah.
Unfortunate, but that is the way of things.
Mm-hmm.
In that, you know, when things like that happen, the only thing we can do is be like, yeah, well, we don't have to meet if you need time to figure your stuff out. I'm a firm believer in that. Firm supporter. Something about firmness. I'm not sure where I'm going with all that.
Firmly grasp it.
Well, that's
Vigorous
a different animal
applications of animal husbandry.
Yes. So what's your D&D group? What game are you guys doing, or campaign, or what? Is it a homebrew? Is it something else?
Called Sands of Doom. And if you're familiar with Mr. Rex, it's his.
Not familiar, unfortunately.
All right.
I was hoping it would be something I recognized so I could actually speak a bit more about it, but instead I'm gonna have to let you speak about it if you wish.
It's got an ancient Egyptian kind of theme to it.
Okay.
And it's hard as nails.
Okay.
I would recommend it.
All right. Unfortunately, I'm not much into D&D, but I wouldn't be opposed to taking a look at it for what's the word I want to use? Data farming? Yeah. Idea farming?
Shameless thievery.
Data acquisition.
Well, it wouldn't. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I wouldn't be trying to plagiarize somebody else's work, but like getting ideas or concepts on either stuff for a campaign or game mechanics, or if you do this, then do that sort of thing.
Yeah,
It's
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I got you.
If this, then that.
yeah. Listen, there's a phrase. It's a Latin phrase, but basically it means there is nothing new under the sun, which means effectively that plagiarism has been going on forever. It's just a fancy legalese term now.
Mm-hmm.
As you might recognize the term,
Yes,
thievery is a crime, but gear adrift is a gift.
gear adrift is indeed a gift. I have heard that one before. Specifically, very, very specifically, military related.
Mm-hmm.
Usually used around times when, oh, look at that, somebody left their locker unsecured. Warner, what do you have for
Yes.
us, sir?
Well, aside from my wife being under the weather and that not being a whole lot of fun,
It never is.
I've been playing a game called Unicorn Overlord on the Nintendo Switch 2, and it is an awful lot of fun. And there is a mission that I got to that I unlocked an arena, and the enemies in the arena scale until late game. But if you're a twiddly min-maxer like I am, you can cheese it and get a complete success at like level 16, 17 of the game, and get a very powerful unit long before you're supposed to. And that's what I did today.
I'm sorry. Listen, I want to be clear. I'm not trying to knock the game. There is something both terrifying and terrible in the name Unicorn Overlord. Because now I'm picturing a unicorn with a black leather cape, riding crop, sword drawn in one hand, pistol in the other, screaming, "Bring me the dead bodies." That's the image I'm getting right now. I don't know how much of that is because
Omar?
of Unicorn Overlord or because of my own weird shit.
Omar, how
Yes.
does one hold a riding crop, a sword, and a pistol?
Obviously, you keep the riding crop under your arm. Always. That's where it goes.
Or in the mouth.
Listen, that's called a bit, and that gets into an area that we don't want to deal with.
On a less, more out of genuine concern and less out of humor, but is everybody ready for this big storm coming up?
I don't even. Okay, so let me.
You're West Coast. It's not an issue for you.
It's so much not an issue. I'm just gonna sit here and go. Meanwhile, it's still in the damn 50s in here, which it should not be.
It shouldn't be too much of an issue for Alturios, I don't believe. But Lucian and Warner, what are y'all looking at for this weather?
I am not sure, to be perfectly honest with you.
I think
I
I don't know
Didn't
where
know
exactly.
there was a storm coming up.
So
Yeah, there's
go ahead.
a nice big freezing storm. It's cold enough that here in southern Texas we're going to see temperature in the 20s for a couple nights.
That's pretty low for Texas.
Yeah,
Sorry.
especially southern Texas.
I realize I'm making my gestures, and I know it's all fun. I know Texas doesn't typically get very friggin' cold for very friggin' long. There are already jokes about a certain senator leaving and how that's going to somehow Groundhog Day style add more weeks of winter.
Nah.
That said, the graphic that I saw was basically if you threw a snowball at the U.S., it lands in basically the middle Atlantic seaboard and then kind of slowly, lazily rolls down through from, I don't know, something like Virginia down into southwest Texas. And then that's like the really, really cold parts, and then it slowly fans out from there to going from really, really, really cold at the core to kind of inconveniently cold.
Yeah, it's a big pocket of cold weather or cold air pushing right basically to the middle of the United States. So.
Yeah. And so of course, none of
How
that
cold
affects
is it
us.
supposed to get in Ohio?
I don't think Ohio's going to be hit all that hard compared. I will admit I
Then
did not
I'm
look at this
fine.
graphic very hard though.
Let me. I'll send you something in just a second. I'll pull up a map of it. Doesn't have to be on stream, but
Yeah.
just in case you want to.
But like I said, from what I saw, it looked like it was like the worst areas is if like if you drew a line from probably about Virginia over towards Tennessee, Kentucky, and then kind of went southwest-ish into Texas. That's probably not the best description, but I'm also going 100% off of memory because I only saw it like twice today. Didn't really pay much attention to it.
So it looks like Friday is going to be the worst day for us.
Yeah. And the same thing for like Illinois. I don't think you guys are gonna get hit terribly hard, other than your normal. It's winter,
Well,
so
it's going to be 2 degrees to negative
Yeah.
4 degrees on Friday, which
it's
is
a 6
pretty
degree
cold.
range, which means in Chicago it's just Tuesday. I'm sorry, not Chicago, Illinois.
You know, in Illinois, it gets below freezing pretty regularly, but if it gets below 0, that's pretty cold.
Now it is. I remember my gauge was if my nostrils start freezing together, it's in the 20s, which means it's starting to get cold. If I can't feel body parts, it's cold enough to do something about it. Like maybe not going outside.
I spend most of my time indoors anyway.
Well, let's play
Indoors.
Rogue Trader.
Let's.
Among other things, previously, we did have a ship battle, as I mentioned.
We did.
We have 2 ships that are currently, well, they're banged up. One ship has basically several systems that are currently unpowered because of our erroneous critical hits rule usage. I have declared that they are going to be repaired in 3 turns. What
Also,
happens
is it
between
just
now
me,
and
or
then?
is the word erroneous really fun to say?
Erroneous can be fun. Yes. So Raider C, the one that's been highlighted here, has several systems that are currently unpowered, but in 3 turns, those systems will be repaired. Of course, if something happens in those 3 turns that gets in the way of that, that will be a different story. Raider A has some other damages and depressurization problems. They are going to have to resolve them as per normal rules. And then finally, Raider B has been basically intimidated to go screw off somewhere else. They have elected to do that, as far as you could tell, despite the fact that they did not respond to anything that was said.
I have a question.
I have answers. You may not like them.
Okay. So my first question is, 3 turns is about. You said each turn is about 30 minutes.
Yes.
So their systems will be down for about an hour and a half.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the angry sprites.
Yes.
Because of the angry sprites.
Yes.
One of those systems is life support, Omar.
Okay.
They're going to be without life support for an hour and a half, Omar.
Okay. They have skin suits or whatever this game. I think it's void suits.
I was gonna say, if our life support got knocked out, would you just be sitting there going? Or would you throw a suit
so
on?
here's the thing about it. So granted, they
Like-
have some hull. I think they took some hull hits as well or something. But so life support doesn't mean you're going to run out of air right away.
Okay, yeah, but I was just saying that about 5% of our crew has void suits.
Listen, I'm just saying.
Are you telling me there's not emergency soft suits around?
Or, people that can figure out how to seal a room up pretty quick if they needed to. I realize that Warhammer 40K doesn't get really super high-techy, like, say, Star Trek or even, God forbid, The Expanse. But I feel like these people are born to work in the void. Some cases, very friggin' literally. I think they'll figure it out.
Okay.
I might be taking a little bit of liberty on making that decision, but...
All right. I just wanted to mention that.
That's fair. If you disagree with anything I'm making a call on, that's fair as well. I feel like for naval personnel, even if they're draftees, that they would have at least a half a chance at not dying immediately just because the air got turned on.
Well,
It's not so much the air getting turned off as,
cold.
all of the things getting turned. Like, We need quite a lot to live. Anyway,
There
I
is
am
true.
fine.
That's
I am
true.
fine with them having enough suits to mess
Yeah.
around with for an hour and a half or whatnot.
Sure. That said, we are back at the top of the initiative order, which means the Perilous is up next. And I don't remember what your guys' plans and strategies and thoughts and ideas were from the last session. Other than, you've got some things well under control in regards to who's getting bashed up and whatnot.
How hard of a turn can the Perilous make? Can it? Because it's
You
got
can
that proud.
move. You move half distance or full distance before turning, and when you turn, you can turn up to 90 degrees.
It's got a hard turn. They could fail that though, especially since they don't have a good pilot.
There's no roll for that. I mean, that's your standard turn or standard move action.
Right, but I'm saying that. Okay, I guess because they don't have any characters on board, they can't take a special piloting maneuver.
You can direct them to. They still have to roll against their skill level.
Yeah, that's why I was saying it might not be worth it.
I think I was also allowing certain bonuses to be applied based on who was giving them their command. So basically, Parallels has, I believe, a 35 base skill if they were to make some sort of maneuvering call at the direction of your pilot. His pilot spacecraft bonus would apply.
Well, that wasn't how we ran it last session, but you didn't let Warner's.
Ballistics, did it not?
No, you didn't let Warner's ballistics apply to their guns. The only thing.
The modifier he gave them.
Oh, a
Even
modifier.
though ballistics don't have a modifier, but yes.
Because it was so basically. So they have a 35, and then whatever Jace's pilot. If it's pilot 45, it's not 45. But if it's 45, then it's a +4. If it's 55, it's +5. Whatever it is, I don't know what his skill is off the top of my head. But that also assumes that
it's higher than that.
I figured, but that's also assuming that Jace is like, hey, if you move your ship forward and then come to a heading of blah 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 by blah 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 blah. Okay, now turn. Nope, turn. There you go. That sort of scenario plays out, then that bonus would apply. Otherwise, it's just their flat 35. Unless, of course, you want to give them the Lord Captain's +10 do it better. Which is entirely up to you. But you only get to do that once per turn.
Where did the new ship come from?
I'm using it as a placeholder because he did a move and then a 90-degree turn and then a move. And I'm not sure if that puts it in prow range. Instead of having to move the big model and then have to find out where we actually got it from and then move it back.
So
so hear me out. Based off the angles, can we move, turn, fire, then finish moving?
I don't think your prow option is going to be up for the Perilous. I'm sorry, what was your question, Rev?
It's not important. It doesn't seem like it's going to matter based off where I'm seeing them move it. But why don't you fire now? I'm basically guessing at the distance you're at now, you'd get point blank on the closest ship.
Can ships reverse?
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't think so.
Not really.
Not the way you're thinking, because you kind of have to you have to move forward. What you would have to do is one of those maneuvering actions where you come to a new heading, adjust speed and bearing, or something along those lines. Well, I take that back. There's also U-turn. I thought there was one where you could do basically a U-turn, but
there is in the Rogue Trader game, but I don't think there is on the tabletop.
Yeah, so basically it's either your standard action is moving forward and either turning at the midpoint or turning at the end point. And then you have the maneuver actions table, which is on PDF page 218, which gives you the options of adjust bearing, adjust speed and bearing, come to new heading, disengage, and evasive maneuvers, which all have obviously slightly different skills to roll and or slightly different results based on those rolls.
And we want to try and be somewhat ranged with these guys since their weapons are scary up close, right? We might just have
their weapons are roughly the same as yours.
It's basic. Well, they're not, but it's basically a moot point at this point. Trying to keep our distance at this point is a
Yeah,
That's a
you're
scenario
in
that's
knife
already
fighting
passed.
range at this point.
Yes. We fight with knives.
As the saying goes, as the meme says, bring me closer so I can hit them with my stick.
Yeah. Sword. Sword.
I mean, listen, in my head, I was just picturing me with a big old beat stick.
As a sword aficionado, I like swords.
Can I
Listen,
meet
I
you
enjoy a good
halfway?
sword myself. That sounded
Can
really weird.
Can
but-
meet you halfway and do a thunder hammer instead.
Oh.
What did you say, Alterios?
I said, can I meet you halfway and do a thunder hammer instead?
Wouldn't halfway between a stick and a sword be a power axe?
Eh. At any rate, Paralos needs to do something before we get too tangentialized.
Okay.
My orders would be for it to bring its guns to bear on Raider, I believe it's C, as fast as possible.
Raider C.
Mm-hmm.
You can attempt, and I don't know exactly what that would look like. You can attempt, instead of turning 90 degrees, you can come to a new heading and have additional degrees of movement. Like 100.
Can I do two
Potentially.
turns in one movement?
No, not in a standard movement. Let me double check if it.
No, that'd be something you'd have to roll against with their 35 plus your whatever, which is
Yeah, I feel like
Not
that's
great.
not your standard movement. Let me just double check.
I remember at some point making 2 turns in a single movement of the past, but I thought it had more to do with come to a new heading.
I think that's what it was too. But let me. See. When a starship takes its maneuver action, this is its standard default maneuver action, by the way. It chooses to move directly forward a number of void units equal to its speed value or half its speed value. This is the default action. Something about immense momentum, etc. Once the starship has moved forward by its speed value or half, it may turn. Certain ships can turn up to 45 degrees, others up to 90. Either version of this maneuver, moving at half or full speed, is considered the starship's default maneuver and does not require any skill tests. However, a skilled pilot can use more advanced maneuver actions, which are
What's its
the ones.
speed?
9, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Both the ships are 9, yeah.
And unless otherwise, so let's see. Each maneuver modifies basic maneuver. No. Unless otherwise specified, a starship's turn may never be more than 90 degrees. If a starship ever fails its test while performing a maneuver, this is the test that you have to make to do the maneuver actions. It simply makes either version of its default maneuver and not anything else. So basically, if you want to if you want to go more than 90 degrees, you have to do the adjust bearing. Excuse me, or come to a new heading.
So if I heard correctly, without double checking the reading myself, there if that ship tries to do a more complicated maneuver and fails, it just does its normal maneuver.
Correct. That's what I got out of that too.
There's no larger penalty.
Correct.
So I don't see. So it's up to you, Lucian, if you want to have it. If you want to have Jace try to get them to make a harder turn to bring both their guns to bear on C. Go for it.
Okay. What's that? Adjust heading?
Well, let's see. Adjust bearing.
What page was it?
I'm on the descriptions start on PDF page 215. I would recommend putting the ship back where it was first, though, in case you're.
Put that thing back where it came
No,
from, or
no.
so help me.
Leave it right where it is.
Okay. All right. So adjust bearing is used to decrease the distance a starship must move before it can turn. So basically, you start off.
We don't want that.
Right. The other one, if you want to adjust its bearing, is adjusting speed and bearing, which is it just throws in the speed axis as well. And then come to a new heading. This is used to make radical course changes. You make a difficult -10 pilot spacecraft plus maneuverability. Success means the starship may turn when it has moved half its speed, then turn again when it has moved its full speed. Ship suffers -20 to any ballistic skills tests to fire its weapons during this turn.
That's what we want.
Okay, so yeah, you would turn. So that's the one that you would turn it twice.
Right.
I
That's why I said
presumably
leave
up
it
to
where it
90
is.
degrees in each turn.
Yeah,
as opposed to trying to do like a half move, half turn, half move, half turn.
right. So what do I need to roll?
It's your piloting skill plus the ship's maneuverability minus 10 because it's difficult. So your ship's maneuverability is 23.
Wait, it's my piloting skill?
Oh no, nope. I stand corrected.
No.
I forgot which ship that was. So Paralos has a base skill of 35, and then its maneuverability is a 30, so that takes it up to a 65. It then becomes a 55 because of the specific action you're trying to do, because it's difficult. And you could take 1/10 rounded down of your own piloting ability to give them a bonus if Jace is directing them to do that. Like,
Yes,
effectively
he is.
walking, holding their hand through the process.
Yes, he is.
Okay, so what is your piloting skill? If you were to make a challenging +0 piloting test, what's the number you're rolling against?
80.
Okay, so that's 8. So 55 and 8, you're basically rolling against a 63 for them to pull it off.
All right. Any other modifiers?
Unless somebody's dropping a fate point or giving them a +10 do it better Lord Captain thing.
I'm saving the +10 for other for shooty circumstances.
Sure.
Okay.
So 63.
Unless otherwise specified, the +10 is at Warner's discretion to use on whichever gun he likes.
All right, that is a 65. You can either let it stand or spend a fate point from Jace because you were guiding them.
Okay.
You could still, I
I'll
mean, at this
spend a
point,
fate
you could
point
definitely
from
hit
Jace.
them with the dorsal guns, obviously.
I'll still spend a fate point from Jace.
Okay. I don't know why that one went off the table there. 85. Nope, looks
And
like
it
dorsal
didn't
guns
help.
only. What are you whining about, you
All
stupid
right,
animal?
so that's where they end up,
Yep.
which is fine.
Yeah.
So who wants to do a boarding action?
Nobody yet.
Okay.
But their dorsal guns do need to fire from Warner.
Okay. Let me make that roll then.
All right, let's talk numbers. It's the Paralos, so it's going to be 35.
Paralos. Correct.
Plus your ballistics 1/10.
Which is a 6.
So that's 41.
Yep.
They are at less than half, so that's 51.
Yay.
Are we giving them anything else? Is Paralos
Nope, that's
doing
what we're
any of
doing.
those other actions? Well, I guess they're really kind of limited on special actions.
Paralos says, blow it up.
51. That is 2 degrees.
35.
That's 2 degrees of success. So obviously,
Alrighty.
so that's correct me if I'm wrong. That's 2 hits.
Mm-hmm.
Now, obviously, the void shields are going to eat 1.
Yep.
Actually, no, they're not.
Oh, they're depowered, yeah.
Yeah, they're unpowered. So that's 2 hits going straight through the armor.
Yay.
Go ahead and roll 1d10 plus 2 for each of those 2.
Okay.
I believe that's the damage for those dorsals.
Their dorsals
Not
are
a 3. That's 5.
it's the autocannon.
Yeah,
things.
it's not the Sunseer, it's the macro batteries. So 5 and
Lameness.
4, 9 damage. And unfortunately, their armor you're blowing off chunks of armor, but
Mm-hmm.
you're not getting much else, unfortunately. Okay, that is a
And
text
somebody
I'm gonna
get
have to
rid
deal
of
with
these
it.
dice.
Yeah, give me a second. Do we have some dice that are not disappearing when they're supposed to?
Yes. There we go.
Okay. All right. So, unless Paralos is doing anything else, all we score is some armor damage. Or armor strikes. Anything else for Paralos?
That is all as far as the guns go, I believe.
Okay. Raider C is going to do its standard movement option, which is... Unfortunately, that is going to bring them right into contact with them, so they're probably going to have problems. and their engines are damaged and unpowered. So, oh dear. They are going to have to make a base 30. I'm just gonna... What? Sorry, my son just texted me something really crazy, and I have no idea what the hell it means. He says, and I quote, "I also figured out how to give my mouse pointer a Sandevistan."
The Sandevistan. Oh, he gave it a trail.
What is that? How's that? Okay.
So normally when you move back the screen, it's just the mouse.
Yeah.
With the mouse trail, it leaves the little
Yeah.
little
Little
trail of
pixels
mice.
or whatever behind.
It's in the mouse settings.
Okay.
I like the way he described it though. I gave it a Sandevistan, Dad.
I was like, who calls it a sand? Like,
Did I say it weirdly? I may have said it weird.
no. That's a cyberpunk terminology.
That's
like,
what I
that's a,
thought. Sorry. I had the same thought was when I saw that word. I was like, okay. And that might be the name of the setting. Anyway. Sorry, I definitely got Ushiny there with seeing because I have my phone right in front of me, so I don't miss stupid things like that.
ADD.
Yeah, that too, maybe. So Raider C has a really big problem. They may end up colliding with Raider A. They're gonna need to make a piloting skill test to avoid collision. And the reason, so
I thought their engines were damaged.
they are, but they still have capability of maneuvering. And now let me explain what this is gonna look like. I realize our ships on the board as our visual representation of the space combat makes it look like they're super close to each other and easy to run into each other. The truth is one void unit is 1 inch, and in one void unit is approximately, as an abstract idea, 10,000 kilometers. So really, they're probably not going to collide, despite the fact that they're both 1.5 kilometers long ship. Still, a kilometer amongst 10,000 is tiny. So really, I probably shouldn't have to roll, but just for shits and giggles, and because I don't really care that much what happens to these fuckers, I'm just gonna roll and see what happens. Maybe they collide, maybe they don't. That is a 52. They do collide.
Going to laugh if your collision kills them and you're done.
I don't even know what that would look like, but they absolutely ram each other, and now they're kind of like doing this sort of thing as they drift apart. I don't even know if their movement is valid, so let me actually bump this guy back just a touch. Maybe put this guy over here. But that is their movement, period. Like, that's all they're going to do. They both are going to take some damage. I'm not sure what the book says, but let's just do something silly like... let's see. First ship takes 8 damage. This one is going to take a lot of damage. Holy shit. That's...
Which one was that?
Hang on one second.
The ship that's getting crashed.
26, 16. Damn, that's also... Oh, man. Yeah, so things just got really wild as these two ships managed to run into each other despite all known naval movement, safety, and distance protocols totally being disregarded. The ships just slam into each other, chunks of metal and hull plating and structural integrity component things go flying off into the void. Crew are lost left and frickin' right. Oh, let me go ahead and change that here too. So that's now... This one as well. This one took a lot. So this one's going to be that, and then this one. So yeah, they are in a world of hurt. This ship, Raider B, is just going to not quite enough to make it off the board. Actually, no. Let's roll their thingy thing. Get it back to where it was. There we go. Close All right, so they need a 30. And they are going to do adjust speed. So that is a challenging pilot plus maneuverability. That's going to be 30 plus. God bless it. Why can't I see the number I'm looking for? Oh, there it is. So I need a certain number. Okay, that is a certain amount of degrees of success. So what does that give me? Let's see. First, then the helmsman makes challenging on success. Increase by 1. Every degree may increase that by more. So that's X. So this ship
Is on the edge of the board.
has actually made it off the map. They have moved out of engagement range.
He fled for his life.
Yep.
Damn
How
it.
did they go from right there to off the map in that turn?
Because
Hyperdrive
I
engaged.
rolled a 3 degrees of success and added it to their 10 speed with 1 degree of success plus 10 speed plus 1 for success plus 1 additional for every degree of success with 3 degrees of success, so it's 14 inches.
All right. Well, they didn't do all the proper rituals and preparations before going to warp, so
They
I
haven't
want you
gone to warp. They just out of engagement range.
They pushed their engines. Is what they did.
Yes, they said, nope, we're out. And what you will note eventually is that they will do some sort of warp shenanigans.
See, I was going to leave A and C to the Parlos and chase it with Acheron Ferry.
Well, see, here's what I'm.
So,
Here's,
okay, so...
here's my objection.
Okay.
It took us 3 turns of normal movement to even get close to engagement range, and somehow in one turn, even doubling their speed, they should still be on the board.
They didn't... They were roughly here.
No.
Were they not? No, you're
They're
right. They were
roughly
there.
here.
Yeah.
I don't think they were quite that close.
They'd only turned away a little. They hadn't made any more movement.
Am I on edge? All right, I'll give you that. I'll give you right there.
They're still booking it.
They are definitely
They want
booking it.
out.
Yes, they want they you have brought the fire and they don't want the flame. It is on.
We are probably not catching up to them in a straight run. Just gonna say.
Probably
They're
not,
already
but I
faster
have.
than us.
You can, I mean,
Okay,
you have the option of shooting at them.
maneuverability?
But
We have one last card to play.
you
if
have
it's
the
our turn.
Acheron's Ferry. It's their turn. It's your turn now.
Okay. Warner, would you like to?
I think that I will. I will defer to the captain on this one. I've made my intimidation roll already. I think if we're going to try a different tack with evidence and things, you would be the one who would be better to put it forth.
Well, you did already mention. I know you said something to somebody about consorting with aliens and
Yes,
potentially demons and things of that
but
nature.
I don't know if we mentioned it to you, but we talked about that we
Yeah, you
have
did. You did
to
last time.
Omar. Yes.
Go ahead.
Let me finish what I'm trying to say.
Go ahead.
We have evidence. I was asking Omar about this. We have pictures and images
Mhm.
of the 3-armed person wearing the insignia.
Yep.
We have, I'm sure, essentially what would amount to screenshots of that person's journal saying, yeah, I was tasked by
Mhm.
Lord Hanet to go over here and attack humans with aliens.
Mhm.
And I'm pretty sure she have some kind of chaos symbol on her.
No.
Okay, no direct symbol of chaos, but the 3-arm thing. So
Just,
we would be
just
sending.
the mutation, and to your knowledge, she never had any official, purely recognizable connection to chaos. The closest
Okay.
that you like, and really,
The
the
third
most
ar-
you
the
would have gotten
third-
would have
the
been
third-
heresy because of the mutation. It wouldn't
Yeah,
have
the
been
third- the-
chaos
The
specifically.
third arm is a sign of heresy, is my
Well,
point, though.
yeah, like it's heresy, not chaosy. If that makes any sense. In the
Yeah.
we're arguing over which Ordo would be the one shooting her in the face. When in truth, both of them would just be glad to be done with her. But yeah, so you did transmit all that, and that's why they are leaving. Huh?
No, we had that to transmit. He didn't transmit that on the first broadcast.
I mean, I
I thought you
mentioned
did.
we
Okay.
did not transmit pictures, but I had made
He mentioned that we
threats
have
and
proof.
stuff.
He mentioned that we have proof, but he did not show them the proof.
Gotcha.
What I am advocating is that we make a similar intimidation roll, transmitting the proof and saying that that anything short of an immediate surrender and coming about will be construed as consorting with those who have conspired with Xenos and have heresy corruption.
Sure. I mean, nothing's stopping you from doing that. Want to hail them. I'm trying to figure out which one of those specific tasks.
It's hail the enemy. It's
Hail the
oh
enemy.
yes, it's the wide open interact / roll whichever skill is appropriate. Gotcha. Okay.
And if you're trying, and according to the rules as written, the skill to convince someone to surrender is still intimidate.
Sure.
Okay. Well, in that case,
Which is
I
a
suppose I can
strength-based
do it.
skill, so.
Yes.
Which I think I would change that given the nature by which you would be attempting to do this intimidation, but because you have the evidence, I'm just going to let it fly with your base strength skill roll.
Okay.
That makes because you have evidence to back it up. Effectively, is what I'm.
You are. All right. Well, I have intimidate plus 20.
Yeah, I. Had
So my roll is 80 or less. Roll, damn it.
77.
That is a success. You receive a text message in response, and it says, "We will not come about. We will disengage."
Well, I'm always good for my word, Mark, that ship is not to be taken as captive and its crew are to be considered heretics. What is the name of that
So
ship?
we're not going after that ship?
No, I think he means to kill it. Kill it with fire. That is Raider B.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's what your ship's tech spirits or machine spirits have designated it as.
They may have, but surely ships surely we came close enough to see what actual name was written on the side of the ship.
But I never came up with any specific names for these three fuckers that were meant.
Whatever name that you come forward with, Raider B. Raider B is clearly not the priority target right now, as they're fleeing. So should we encounter them in a future engagement, no quarter will be shown.
Sure.
No quarter.
Oh, for future reference, they are marked as heretical enemies of the state.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
See, I think that means we should overclock the engines and go after them.
Somebody is desperate for a ship kill.
Well,
all right.
I think we should probably focus on winning.
As a player, I was gonna say, as a player, I've given my vote, and since this isn't an I'm not the actual role trader who gets to make all the official decisions. It seems like Warner is voicing a vote similar to my own. Alturios, do you have a differing opinion? Do you think we should put everything into killing the ship or focus on the two in front of us?
I abstain. I don't care either way.
Okay, I'm outvoted.
In other words, what you hear is Icarus is in the enginarium saying, "Just don't break my shit. I gotta keep it fixed."
Yeah.
All right. So,
I'm going to attempt the same maneuver that I tried to get the Perlos to do.
Okay. So that is your piloting skill plus the ship's 23 maneuverability?
Okay.
Yep. So you're piloting plus 23 minus 10.
As best you can, bring us up directly behind and in between the two of them.
All right. Well, that gives me a 93.
Okay. Where exactly are you trying to position your ship right now?
I'm trying to turn around and do a Yui.
Basically do a Yui. Okay, gotcha.
Let's see.
Now, bear in mind, both of our weapons are dorsal systems, so as long as we're generally facing them.
Yeah. But I want us to get as close as possible. So would that be a
So that we can
turn
hit them with our
before
sword, as established.
Yes. Also, I do want to point out that if you are doing this come to new heading maneuver, it does impart a -20 to ballistic skill test. This may not mean much because it's Reinhardt shooting against 156, so
Well,
just wanted
so
to point it out in case anybody wants to do the hard math.
But
So,
isn't there another maneuver where you can turn before you would normally be able to turn?
That's your come to a new heading. Oh no, I take that back. So there's adjust bearing, which determines when you turn instead of turning at the halfway or at the end. So you could actually turn earlier if you wanted to.
Yes,
The come to a
that's
new
what I
heading
want.
is the one where you use. It literally says this is used to make radical course changes. Helmsman makes this test. Success means the ship may turn when it has moved half its speed value and then turn again when it has moved its full speed value.
That's not what I want.
Okay, so
I want to be able to turn before halfway.
Okay, so in that case, you want adjust bearing.
Okay.
So this is used to decrease the distance a starship must move before it can turn. First, you decide if you're moving half or full. Then you make the test, which is challenging. So it'll be you're piloting plus 23 straight. That on success, the ship may turn after moving one void unit less than the speed value. So either 3.5 or at 8. And then for every degree of success, you may turn after moving one less void unit. So basically, -1 and then -1 additional per degree of success. And you have to move at least one void unit before turning. Once the ship has turned, it must move the remaining distance so its complete movement is equal to its half or full speed value.
Okay.
But you only have the one turn that you can. So basically,
That's
you have
okay.
to move. You have to move
we'll
1
go
inch.
half movement.
Okay. So you do a half
And then
move, and then make your roll against I think a 93.
Is it still -10?
No, it's -0.
Then it's 103.
Okay, don't roll double 0.
I'm a little. So this has nothing to do with the current roll, but somewhere in the books it talks about a telepathy discipline where you can link everyone's minds together for a +5 if you get multiple degrees of success, and I can't find that rule anymore.
It could possibly have been in Into the Storm or Navis Primer.
I'm looking through both.
But otherwise, I
Does this affect what I'm doing right now?
It would give you a +5 if I got a success.
He's already
on the
over
roll.
100. He doesn't need a +5. He doesn't need it. I mean, if you want to find it, I'm not going to tell you not to, but it's not necessary at all.
I'm just going to roll.
Okay. Yeah, it's literally don't roll double 0. And if you do, just spend a fate point so you don't have to worry about it. Okay, so that does give you 3 degrees of success. So what that means is you move 1 inch, make your turn up to 90 degrees, and then move the remaining, I think you said a half move, which would be the 3.5 inches. I can live with that being 90.
Okay. And then 3.5.
Yep.
There we go.
Problem is your prow gun.
That's wrong. That's the wrong ship.
We
This
don't-
is
we
Acheron's
don't
story.
have-
We don't have a prow gun. We have 2 turrets.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
You're right. Okay. Yeah, my bad. All right. Yeah, in that case, both your I mean, regardless, as long as you keep the yeah, I got you. Okay. Reinhardt, I believe it's up to you unless somebody else is doing some sort of extended action craziness.
Well, I do get my put your backs into it.
You want to do that one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, give me a second. Let me find the thingy for it. This is Intimidator Charm. Put you back into it. So you make a challenging Intimidate or Charm, and if you succeed, +5 to Ballistic, plus additional +5. Wait. +5 to Ballistic, and then may aid an additional Ballistic skill test
For every 3 degrees.
3 degrees of success. So basically, if you get you get one gun system on the first. If you get more than 3 degrees, you've got the second gun system.
Mm-hmm.
And you have your +10 to throw at somebody if you'd like. Arterio's trying to grab it with a ruler.
Yeah.
Give me that.
I believe that both guns.
Holy shit! Oh no, that's your intimidate. Okay, so yeah, so both guns are going to have +5 to whatever Reinhardt's crazy math is. Basically, now he's shooting at.
So
like
how many? So how many
81.
degrees of success is that?
It's, I don't know. What's your intimidate?
Let me double check.
Charm,
It's
rather.
it's charm. It's
Yeah.
charm, and my charm is absurd.
Yes. It's your version of the Reinhardt ballistic score.
I believe my charm is 94.
So that's 9 degrees of
9 degrees of
success.
Yes.
So that's for every 9 degrees. So I should get 2 additional +5s that I can use towards ballistic skill test, emergency repair action, firefighting attempt. So I don't know that we need any of those, but we have essentially some extra
They're
+5s.
there. Yeah, I guess you could, in theory, bank them. Hey guys, remember when I screamed at you charmingly?
I was such a charismatic screamer.
I made so many valid data points in that presentation. All right. Are we using the +10? I just threw it out there just to be funny.
Oh,
So you get a +5 on one shooty and a +15 on the other. Oh, wonderful.
Excellent. Then I will use the captain's try harder ability to make them both +15s.
No.
No.
That's with the +10. So they both automatically get a +5 from the thing that I just rolled.
Okay, they both get a +5, so that's why one of then the first one will be the +15,
Sure.
and the second one will be the +5.
I'm assuming we're aiming at the lesser damaged ship.
Oh, they're
yes,
both at 8. Hull.
Oh, I was see
the
Raider
one that's
A,
not completely shut down is the one that we're.
Yeah, before the collision, Raider A was less damaged.
Well, Raider A took a heavy hit when another Raider ran into it.
Yes.
Because I thought it would be funny. I'm not even,
yes.
and I know I didn't follow the rules for ramming accurately at all. I just kind of rolled it.
Raider C has more crew.
I mean,
Why don't we try boarding Raider A and destroying Raider C?
That seems reasonable.
Why don't we take
blow up
Raider A
C
and throw it at Raider
Well,
C?
hear me out. If I was thinking if we do a little more damage to Raider A, we could board both ships.
Ooh.
But Raider A still has their engines running.
Oh yes, let's get rid
Raider
of the engines.
A only has 8 hull. Raider C only has 8 hull.
Raider C is not going anywhere.
Let's start on
rounds.
Raider A.
Yeah, Raider
Let's
C
start
has
on Radar A. So first shot in Raider A, and we'll determine if the second shot stays there or moves.
Fair enough.
So
don't roll
Is
damage
this going to
over
be
6.
the plus? Is this going to be the +5 shot or the?
This is the +15.
+15?
Yes, this is the +15, which puts me comfortably at a 74. So.
What's your ballistic score?
That's a reroll.
Hold on.
69.
69
No.
plus 15 is.
Oh, 84.
Yeah, 84, and you are at less than half range, so it's actually hitting on a 94?
Sure,
Yeah, so that's
I'm good with that.
I mean, that's only 2 hits. You can re-roll it for better options if you want. It does
Yes,
have
I
functioning
am going to
shields.
re-roll it. I am going to re-roll
Okay.
it because I think I can do better.
That's
Hey,
5
look at that,
degrees.
significantly
better.
better.
So I believe you're hitting at full strength, -1.
Yes, full strength and the crit.
Yep. Okay, so let's do the damage first because that's easy. So you're gonna do
Roll under a
is it 5 hits or 4 hits that you've got
4.
total?
4 hits.
Okay, so 3 hits are actually gonna go through.
Yes.
Shields are still up. So
Mhm.
give me 3d10 plus 6
That thing's gonna die.
total damage.
Oh, you're gonna roll all 3? All right.
That's 8,
Actually,
10,
let's
16.
roll an additional d10 because we get to
Oh yeah,
see
yeah,
if one
yeah.
drops
I
off.
got you. I got you. So that's 2, 3, 5, and another 2. Okay.
So
So
a
yeah.
2 drops off.
So
So yeah,
16,
16 damage.
and then the ship's armor is okay. 2 points go through on that hit, plus the 1d5 crit. Go ahead and roll 1d5, please.
Okay.
That is a 1. This is holes. And it says a lucky hit has wrenched open the ship's hull, exposing it to space. The attacker selects one component that you know of that is not the bridge or plasma warp drives.
Sounds like the engines.
Mm-hmm.
What's plasma? That's is that the engines or is that the
Plasma warp
reactor.
drives. Plasma warp drives is what they use to power the ship
Power
and
everything
go-
in the ship.
and
so
what they
basically the
use
reactor.
to. Well, that sounds like 2 things because warp drives would be what they use to go into the Immaterium.
Okay, yeah, no. All right. In that case, engines are now depressurized.
Yay!
On that hit.
To be fair, Omar, that was also what we rolled for the other ship. So even if you bring all their other weapons back online for C, one of their weapons still had a open to space.
Yes. I have their criticals listed if you mouse over it. So for instance, the Raider dorsal batteries are damaged, the prow cannon is depressurized, communications are jammed, and the engines are depressurized.
Right, but I just was specifying on C when all of their stuff come back in 3 turns.
Oh, that the one is damaged as well as unpowered.
Yep.
And their engines are damaged as well as unpowered. Gotcha.
I didn't remember their engines getting. I thought was that part of the. How did that happen?
It was one of those things where it was like 1d5 things are fucked and 5 things got fucked.
In any case.
Yes. So that was against a 93 or 94 that rolled. Now you
Yes.
have another one that's at 83 or 84.
Yeah, this one is at 84.
Okay.
And so we did get rid of the engines on that dude.
So, since I want other players to have something to do besides me giving all the orders, we basically want both ships to be vulnerable to boarding. So whatever you deem best.
Okay.
Oh, we're trying to take both ships?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
You know what? I'm gonna just keep going on Raider A because more morale damage. Actually, no. Morale damage is important for boarding, so I'll go on C. Second shot on C. 84 or less.
That is
Significantly less.
That is 7 degrees of success. So once again, full strikes.
Full strikes.
You're still shooting on the same ship, right?
No.
You're
C.
at the other one? Okay, I was looking
Yeah.
something up, so I missed the specificity there.
Yes.
So yeah.
This time they don't have the void shields up because they're depowered.
Correct, and you also scored an additional critical hit because of hitting so many degrees of success.
Ooh.
Because if I'm not mistaken, the crit rating on that is 4.
4.
And you hit 4 strength or 4 degrees of success or more. And you now have 4 hits coming in with no shields. So go ahead and roll 4d10 plus 8. This you can roll all at once because it doesn't matter.
Oh, look at that.
Okay,
Ooh.
so
Wow.
this is what happens to that particular ship. This ship now takes full damage, which is 28 plus 8 is 36 damage. That is 36 minus 8 is 28, which would have generated a critical hit of, guessed it, 28. Catastrophic damage. A succession of powerful blows and explosions rip through the ship, causing horrendous damage. Roll 1d10.
Oh, that ignore that.
Yep,
Clear.
I heard the blip 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 blip.
Just do the minus and roll again.
Yeah.
6. Okay. Let's see. The ship is hulked. I don't know what exactly that means, but it sounds like it is a. Oh, well, here we go. Space Hulk. Catastrophic damage leaves the ship a drifting, smoldering wreck. Uncontrolled fires burn in some compartments, others are open to space, and the rest are choked with the dead and dying. You may choose to roll 1d10 for each of the ship's components to basically determine if they are, let's see, untouched, unpowered, depressurized, and damaged, or if they are destroyed. Or you can just assume the ship is basically unrecoverable. I leave the choice to you.
Since we're going to try and recover it, I think we make the rolls.
All right. So, the ship as a ship, it is not recoverable. You can recover crew and components and things of that nature, but this ship is fucked.
Okay.
It is
Components, salvage.
Yes.
I may not be playing BattleTech, but I still love salvage.
I hear you. I hear you. Okay, so you do know of several components. So, for instance, let's do this. Let me get this up to where it's easier to read. Let's see, Space Hulk. And then 1d10, and we'll start with the components that you know about, starting with Void Shields. We know they are, at the very least, unpowered. So
Correct.
you get a roll for them. Go ahead and roll 1d10.
That's
are...
a deuce.
You know what? Actually, yeah, let's leave it there. You need to send a crew over to that ship before you can find out more. I feel like you're going to have to do something more than just obligatory scanning of it to get this
Okay.
detail. Does that make sense?
Well,
Because
I thought we were just establishing some roles for what components were and weren't destroyed, and then we could resolve that.
yeah,
later.
that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. So shields, the shield systems are fine, except other than the fact that they're unpowered. Next is the engines. 5. Engines are depressurized and damaged. So, we already have unpowered, and let's go ahead and add in depressurized. Okay. Next up, weapons. 1d10, please. 5. Same thing.
Also,
Damaged, unpowered. Let's do this. Let's do that and that.
and which weapon was that? Was that the prow or the dorsal?
That's a fair question. Let's just assume that was prow.
Okay.
Give me a moment to get situated here. We have... This is going to be weapons. Dorsal. Okay. I'm running out of room here. Let's see.
Nice.
They are just unpowered.
More dorsal guns.
Yep. And then lastly, the one area you didn't know what it was exactly. I know what it is. Go ahead and roll 1d10. Ooh. Ooh.
Also a 1.
Yeah, also unpowered. Okay. That's going to look a little bit weird because formatting became a problem because I've ran out of room. But yeah, Raider C is a drifting hulk, and for all intents and purposes, its crew are dead and dying. Will
Some
take us.
parts recoverable.
Yeah.
Well, after seeing that the one of the two prizes I'd hoped to capture go up in a little more flames than I would have liked, I immediately order a boarding crew for ship A
Okay.
that would
Yay.
include the players.
Okay. So you want to send a player character-led crew over to Raider A. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
that is what he said.
I should have
That's
foreseen this, but I did not.
what
So
I
let me
want.
think for a second on how I want to resolve this. What is your intent? What is it that you hope to do? Obviously, you are going to want to suppress the crew sufficiently enough to capture and claim the ship as you, right?
Yeah. Board the
Yes.
ship, beeline for the bridge, demand surrender of whoever's in charge.
Okay. Let me review my notes to double check something. That's not the one. Other word. Let's see. Scroll, 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 scroll. Scroll the wrong way. Back down. That's what I wanted. Okay, let's see. Okay. You know what? Here's what we'll do. Everybody that goes on your boarding excursion, including one for representing your guardsman that you take with you, give me a ballistics score. Ballistics test.
Test.
With all appropriate modifiers for your capabilities. So like
Alrighty.
not just a straight characteristic test, but like I'm shooting my plasma rifle that has a plus 10 for this and plus 81 for that, and also it hates the evil things in the universe, so I get a plus 200, whatever the fuck it is.
Okay.
Reinhardt, Alterio, or Icarus, Lord Captain, Jace, your guardsman. So that sounds like 5 rolls. And then I'm gonna
We would have
Go ahead.
at least squads A and C coming with us because they're the ones who've been the most successful at training.
Right, and for them, it's just going to be for your guardsmen. It's just going to be 1 roll for all of your guards, whether you bring 1 or 1,000.
No, but I'm specifically
Yeah,
specifying
I got
them
you.
because of the training check.
Yeah, I got you. Use the better score, obviously.
No, I just want to lock in those numbers so that it's okay. They've put their training into practice.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you count it as enough for them to go past that no longer be part of their plus 10 limit.
All right. I'll be rolling with my strange rifle from the cap.
All right, go ahead, Reinhardt. Go ahead and give me your ballistics skill attack roll.
Alrighty.
Whatever.
So that is a plus 20 for full auto, a plus 10 for the motion predictor, a plus 10 for being me. So that is 109 or less.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
Whee!
7 degrees of success. All right, who's next?
I'll go. My bolter pistol would be a plus 10 for the semi-auto, plus 10 for the motion tracker. So that's going to be an 84.
All right, make your roll. Six degrees. Who's next?
Me.
Let's go, Jace. Let's see what you got.
Does the combat servitor get a roll?
No, but you can assume the combat servitor went on the ship with you guys as part of your guards detachment. If you want. I'm trying.
The
Go ahead, Jace.
the Power Fist war gear that was given to me by the captain.
Okay.
Using the ballistic bolter. It's best craftsmanship. It has a laser sight, right?
A red dot, yeah.
Red dot. That gives me a what?
The
Plus
red dot, I
10.
believe, gives you plus 10. The Mastercraft. I don't recall specifically for Mastercraft
Red
weapons.
dot is plus 10, yes.
And Mastercraft weapons, I think that mostly applies to damage and never jams.
Don't you have
the Master class only works on melee for accuracy. For ranged weapons, it is
Damage, isn't
never
it?
jams.
Oh, it's just never
Good
jams?
is reliable, and best is never jams.
Okay.
Okay.
So plus
Can
10
I-
so far.
Can I make a suggestion? Wouldn't your do you have a motion predictor for your Hellblaster? It's
Not
a
yet.
Hellblaster. Okay, so you wouldn't have, but you does it fire on semi or full or what? I can't remember. It's your weapon.
Hellguns are semi.
Okay, so you'd get a plus 10 either way because your bolter on your fist is only single, so it's same bonus either way, so far as I know.
Sounds right.
Right. I do have an omniscope on the Hellgun.
But it's not a motion predictor. It just gives you night vision, telescopic, and
Yeah.
And a red
Right.
dot.
a red dot if you're firing single shot.
Yeah.
But that would negate the full auto or the semi-auto plus 10. So it's still
Right.
plus 10 anyway.
So it doesn't really matter. I'm just shooting at ballistic skill plus 10, no matter which way I look at it.
I believe so. Unless I'm
All
missing
right.
something.
55.
Nothing really matters.
Can I get a
Anyone
captain's
can
bonus?
see.
Alterios, what's your ballistic bonus?
51.
Is that
And-
before or after bonuses?
Why
I
don't
got any
what?
bonuses.
Oh.
Yeah, you can fire your Hellgun. You can fire with semi-automatic, giving you a plus 10, so that bumps you to a 61.
I guess. Yeah.
But just thinking, it's probably best I give it to the guardsman.
Yeah, because aren't the guardsmen at like 40 or something like
35, I think.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. So rolling for me at 55.
that? Wow. Okay. That is.
I will spend a fate point on that.
Oh, you rolled 100. I thought that was my bad. I apologize. Go ahead. Make your roll.
The hundo, also known as
Critical fail.
bleh.
Except it's a
Let
it's a
me
no
mark
jam
off.
weapon, so.
Yeah. Mark that off.
It's the incredible
Oh, 4.
hundo.
Yes. What was your target number again?
55.
55. So it is 5 degrees of success. Okay. All right,
Yep.
Icarus, you're rolling. You said against a 61, I think.
Yep.
All right, go ahead and give me what you got. That is a reroll,
My
sir.
fucking god. All right.
Okay, 5 degrees. Much better. And for the guards, what's the number they're rolling against?
F.
Sorry,
Rev.
what?
What the
Yeah,
guardsmen?
what's the guardsman's thing with your bonus?
What's the guardsman current skill level?
Yeah, starting point. I want to
No,
say
what
it's
it-
35, but I don't quote me on that.
You're the one with their sheet.
Oh,
Yes.
oh shit! Hold on.
What
I
are the
got this.
boni?
I got this.
So it's going to be +5 from the training that I gave to the squad, and then +10 to my bonus. So it's going to be a +15 to whatever their ballistic skill is. Oh,
Doesn't sound right.
and a +20 because they only fire on full auto. I forgot about that.
Okay, so they are 40.
So +35. So they're rolling against a 75.
Okay.
I should have given you that +10.
This is C squad. BS
Yes.
is 45.
What did I just have? I just deleted it too. God damn it.
Well, C Squad was the one that passed their skill training test to get a +5. And B failed, so I don't know why they would have any different ballistics.
Oh, I see what I did wrong. Okay, so A squad is 40. B squad is 40. D squad is 40. C
And
squad,
C squad is 45.
C squad is 45. So yeah, go ahead and use the 45.
So 45 plus 20 is 65. Plus my 10 is 75, yeah.
Okay.
Who wants to roll for him? Warner, since you're...
Okay,
Who trained him?
I can roll.
I technically trained C Squad for this round, but Warner is over the troops.
All right.
Ah.
65 or less.
75.
That's what I'm hearing. 75. 75 or less.
Yep.
Whee!
Jesus.
Yes.
I'll do it.
That
I'm scared
Wow.
to make these rolls. So what's going to happen now is I'm going to get... So right here is the card with the number of degrees of success for each. I'm going to roll against each one of those against a 30. Well, I'll give them 50 for range and shit like that, just to give them something, some modicum of a chance here. But most likely, they're not going to do as well as you guys did. So one at a time, starting at the top. So first roll is 1 degree, which means Reinhardt, no damage. Second roll is a failure. So who's that? Jace? Yeah,
No.
Jace, no damage.
Yeah.
Third
No,
roll.
that would Rev.
Well, I'm
I'm
going
third.
off of the order on the card.
Yes.
Icarus is also no damage. Now it's Brogadillo.
You skipped Rev.
No?
I'm Borgadillo. I don't know why I'm in third, but...
Only because that was the order I was going in at the time. Jesus Christ, I'm bollocksing these rolls. And then I got one more roll here against a 50.
pity.
2 degrees of success, but against the guards, that's nothing. So basically what happens, I realize it kind of took a minute to get there, but basically what happens is over the next, I don't know, since we have no other real ship combat going on, we can take as long as we want, but in order to abstractify to some degree this, because otherwise it could be a massive dungeon crawl, you guys assault
Please no.
the ship. In fact, you do it in such a way that you have multiple landing teams hitting different parts of the ship, different squads moving throughout the ship, converging on various points. You've got some going to the enginarium, you've got some going to the bridge, you've got some going to the cargo deck, for instance, assuming that there is one. You've got people going all over the place. It is a tense fight all throughout, actively resisting you, but it is easily overcome. And an hour later, you stand at the bridge of this ship, Lord Captain, Brigadier, Van Breeze, Gisborne, Gisbath, whatever the fuck your name, along with your retinue and whatever guardsmen you want. The ship is yours. The final assailant to stand against you has just been killed. And in front of you is what appears to be something between a lieutenant and possibly just a junior petty officer. You're not really sure because the Hennett house ranks are kind of garbled to you in your experience. But this kid couldn't possibly be more than about 22. And he is probably shat himself at this point. And he just throws his weapons down and he says, I surrender, and immediately drops to his knees and places his hands over his head. Within seconds, the few other bodies that are still breathing on the deck do the same thing. And I think it's at this point that Reinhardt, if he feels necessary, he can actually point out to the Lord Captain, Lord Captain, the ship is yours, but in a German accent that I couldn't quite nail at all.
Why, my Lord Captain, the ship is yours.
I throw a crack grenade at his face.
Sorry, that was way too funny. What would you like to do?
I accept his surrender. I tell him to rise and return to his station.
He gets up and he goes to the equivalent of like the lowest sensor operator posting on the bridge.
If he's a lieutenant, it would be higher than that. But
It wouldn't be too much. Well, again, somewhere between lieutenant and I don't know, maybe a junior petty officer. He's certainly not someone that gets sent out for coffee.
as in, that's below him or above him?
That's below him, but not by much.
LS2.
I look to see what command seats are empty.
Well, the unfortunate part of that is that all of the command seats are either empty or, more disturbingly, smashed or bullet ridden or scorched or otherwise just generally not available for active use. The ship is a shambles. There is signs of damage predating your firefight to take control of this place. In fact, at one part, nearest the superstructure for the hull, it looks as though if you sneeze on it, it may give way to the void.
Yeah.
I don't know what that would look like, actually, but I'm sure you
I'm
can use
glad I'm in my void suit.
Yeah, you can. I'm sure you can imagine that. Just like, yeah, don't breathe or look at that part of the wall too hard. It might crumble.
Do we get the feeling that these are privateered ships?
No.
No.
It's just that these ships have been wrecked.
Okay.
Because remember, you blasted the shit out of them a couple times now, and then the one rammed this ship before you shot the shit out of it. It's down to 6 hull integrity at this point.
I think it was less rammed and more out of control collided.
This is true, yes. That's certainly more accurate than what description I gave it a second ago. Yeah, this ship is
Not
a
that it
shambles.
hardly matters to the crew, right?
What's that?
Not that it hardly mattered to the crew.
Yeah, I mean, they got rammed regardless. After being shot at, and then got shot at some more. So, like, here's salt in the wound.
And I jammed their communications so they couldn't say, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, exactly. It was like this crew, you're lucky you had any resistance. In fact, the fact that there was resistance might be questionable. Insofar as how were they able to muster resistance? Like, this ship crew has been fucking rattled.
Well, I'm going to put on all of my best charms and with all formality inform the ship that they are no longer under the command of House Hanet. I'm going to relay that they should be grateful for this because of the crimes of House Hanet. And I'm going to mention the horrible heresies and consorting with Xenos that House Hanet has participated in.
The aforementioned bad things.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take, and from the top, that is, assaulted an astropathic relay station and murdered everybody aboard for shits and giggles. Assaulted a planet of not their domain for shits and giggles. Assaulted numerous people for shits and giggles.
Well, not so. So it's worse than that. Conspired with Xenos to assault a loyal Imperial world.
Yes.
Dem orcs.
Dem orcs. Speaking of which, on a real quick side note, I have an orc game tomorrow.
Nice.
Anyway, continue.
Yes. So essentially, the conspiring of orcs to kill loyal Imperial citizens. Though I'll simply use the term Xenos. And the association with those touched by heretical mutations to conduct their nefarious schemes. And that they should be grateful they are no longer consorting with that, and that I will not hold them guilty by association for the crimes of their former master. And in fact, as a sign of good faith, I will reward them with similar bonus rations, and that as a new command crew is established for the ship, they are to bring any grievances or redress that they might have to their chain of command, and they are to be heard, as those who conspire with Xenos would treat their crew in all sorts of unholy manners.
So instead of getting Hanet corpse starch bars, they get House Van Vree's corpse starch bars, which come in a multitude of flavors, not just standard corpse starch.
Well, to be fair, I have a in-lore logistical issue with everything being corpse starch because it's just not logistically feasible.
No, I imagine it's not.
Like, even if you have an incredibly high birth rate and death rate, there's still not going to be enough corpse starch to provide a large staple of a diet. However,
I just wanted to make it.
However, we do have agricultural worlds that likely could produce a huge amount of wheat and bread now that they're recovering from the orc attack, and that additional quote-unquote fresh rations of something akin to hardtack, which will be amazing for these individuals.
Yeah, probably. It certainly beats standard corpse starch flavored corpse starch bars.
Will be provided. So rations and conditions are supposed to improve. If there's any problems due to, they should see, due to the damage to the ship. And what I'd like to do now, once I've encouraged them that their situation will improve and the combat is over and they are now under much better management, I will, I'm assuming we have secondary replacement crews. Let's get a command crew.
You could definitely assemble. I believe they call it a prize party.
Yeah,
is the term I'm looking for.
In addition, additional repair teams as assigned by Icarus.
Yeah.
We are going to salvage what we can from the other ship, and while the other ship may be a hulk, it's two ships essentially side by side with the material on one ship necessary to patch and repair the damage done to the other.
Okay, so you're gonna cannibalize the one ship as much as possible in order to get the other one up.
We're going to salvage any valuable components, and then the raw material that's left is going to be cannibalized to make sure that when the ship leaves, when the Raider A leaves the system, it is in a much more sustainable state. And we will. The plan, I'm assuming, is to go in world and pick them back up on the way out, which will probably, given the nature of how long it takes to travel through.
Yeah.
So,
no, that makes sense. It would take them at least a few weeks to be reasonably warp travel capable again, given significant amount of damage they take. So here's what I'll need. For you, Rev, give me a command test, challenging for overall direction of orders to put all the stuff into place, and then for Icarus, give me a tech use, also challenging to facilitate all of the repairs and scavenging and whatnot.
Do I get to give him a +10? Since
you can absolutely give him a +10 if you like.
Okay.
I believe with all my bonuses I'm already at, just don't roll 00.
For tech use? Oh, because you've got like the Omnisciac Rock and some other stuff. Your multi-tool or some shit.
And his axe, his Omniscient axe.
Yeah, which will absolutely come in handy because, that girder is in the way? Chop. That's absolutely part of your salvaging action, so.
So, we'll roll the command roll. Unfortunately for me, that's only an 84.
Only 84, Jesus Christ. Well, that looks like a fate point use right there.
It is. It'll be my first of the night, I believe.
Okay. You get...
Wait, are we salvaging C or are we fixing A?
They're salvaging A to repair C and then using whatever's left over to be used as potential cargo.
Backwards. We're taking the Achilles and leaving.
We're taking the expensive parts off of C.
Yeah, to fix A. Correct?
Okay.
No, we're taking the expensive parts off A because, so far as I know, unless there is one of the gun as so far as I know, the systems are damaged but not destroyed. We haven't destroyed anything on ship A.
No, you're right. Everything's either damaged or depressurized. And the count.
So we're going to be salvaging whole systems.
Okay.
For our either profit factor or whatever you want to call it. For profit. But there's enough raw material there that any hull damage, armor damage, whatever can easily be replaced from the other ship.
I got you. I got what you're saying. All right, so your command crew is, you've got a
But-
small prize crew in place. You've got techs moving out.
There is one.
Oh,
There is
sorry.
one other thing I want to do with either our ship or their ship. Is whoever's deadgum best with sensors, scan that ship and let's see if there's anything we don't know about yet.
You don't need to make. I mean, you can run the scan. There's nothing special about it. It's just a Azeroth class privateer.
There's some component in there we don't deadgum know about yet.
Where?
In ship C, you're like, ooh,
Oh,
you're gonna find out
It
what
was a
that is
cargo.
later.
It was just the cargo section.
It was what is being carried. We don't know. It's
And
all
you find
very
in that cargo
internal.
hold as you make your way through and try to make sense of all the damages and what's left and then taking stock, it was just basically ship stores.
Okay, so both ships have overabundant supplies from basically raiding their ship stores because it's going to be a Hulk. We're not going to leave.
Okay.
We're basically, if there's room for it on either one of our ships, it's not getting left behind.
Sure. Yeah. Acheron's ferry is filled about 50% with whatever. Paralos is probably topped off at like 75%.
So do we need to make any rolls for which of the components we're able to salvage, or it's just components that survived that we rolled earlier are ones we can salvage?
Well, let me ask you this. How much time would you like to spend here? It may or may not have an impact on what happens later.
Okay. Could we leave the Paralos and the command crew behind so that as they're
Yes.
making repairs, so they have additional assistance for both repairs and salvage?
Yeah, I mean, you could absolutely leave the Paralos as like a base of operations because this is probably going to be like a multi-day operation. So you've got crews rotating constantly, doing work, and you've got the Paralos to basically provide support as needed. If you want to do that, you absolutely can.
I don't see. Does anyone object to that plan?
Seems like a plan to me.
So we're going to proceeding in system to see what all is going on while the Paralos is assisting.
Because I said, hey.
Let me update my
What's going on?
ship's log here.
So speaking of, like, we're going to need to come up with a name for, Omar can come up with a name for B, but we get to rename A. So,
But before you get too much further, for the log's purposes, after the battle, how long do you stick around before the Acheron's ferry takes off on its own? Like how many days? 1, 2, none?
maybe a day, or just enough to make sure, like a day at most, to make sure operations are. But I would think once we got things started, the tech crews between unnamed ship A and the Paralos would have things in hand.
Can we just
Yeah.
call the Achilles?
Ooh.
We could. I was thinking of something. I feel like Achilles should be maybe a more dangerous ship than a raider.
Fair enough.
Yeah, Achilles
Yeah.
definitely sounds something that should be a at least a cruiser.
So I haven't heard too many objections to naming the ship that we took off of Fell Hand as the Severed Hand. That does have a Greek translation, but since it's absolutely hard as heck it actually has it's a psychological, Severed Hand is a psychological thing in, like,
You could
Greek
just name it
symbology.
Severus.
Severus.
But I'm just saying the actual Greek term for severed hand, which I pasted it to Warner a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Let me scroll up to it. It is. Let me practice it once before I say it because it's a tongue twister. So you would love to say the name of the ship on a regular basis, Omar. Hold on.
Why does that not fill me with wonder and merriment?
Look, just look at it this way, Omar. If it's too hard to say, you can just butcher
veto
it.
it.
Yeah.
So if we name it in the Greek as opposed to severed hand in English, if we name it in the Greek, it would be a puka komenimini chair.
I've seen that movie. See it on the knees. Okay, I want to be clear on what's going on with these ships here. So we've got the Paralos providing support. Raider C is being torn apart. Parts that are usable are going on the Paralos. Raider A has a command crew on it, and your intention is to repair it so that Raider A can join your fleet. Is that correct?
Well, my intention is to make sure. Well, I don't think I'm going to have it permanently join my fleet.
Okay.
But it will
Well,
be joining my.
Good.
Depending on where we go from here, it may or may not be accompanying us because I don't know.
But it will be your property. Is probably
Yes.
the best way to phrase it. Then. Okay.
Yes.
Do I make my roll now?
Oh, you still need to make your tech roll?
Oh
No,
yeah, you
I
do.
never did that. At 113.
Well, that is a success.
Despite being a 96.
Despite being a 96, that was a success. He didn't roll 00. Although I was actually thinking about this the other day. I think there's a rule in the book that says if your target number is 95 or higher, like there's a certain point where you just can't keep adding shit. It just caps at like 85 or 95 or something like that.
Oh.
Don't quote me because I haven't actually gone to look for it. I just happened to think about that the other day. I will say this. The Raider A repairs are well underway. The salvage is well underway. You have a few days to kill before you are actively, quote unquote, in system enough to make contact with the planet itself directly without delays and things of that nature. So if there is a scene aboard the Acheron's ferry that you would like to have or anything else that you want to do, now is the time.
Do we get any experience from the conclusion of this?
It will be factored into your experience for the session.
And well,
Oh, are you referring to like profit factor?
No, do we get any experience for the conclusion of the ship battle? The reason I ask is because what I do will depend on how much experience we potentially get.
You're gonna get extra 100, but that won't be until the end of the session.
Okay, that would not be enough to do what I was thinking about.
And that's because of course it that's 200 is the base XP reward for each session, and then usually it's plus 100 for objectives met, overcoming obstacles. Usually another 100 to 150 for like major moments, like the end, successfully concluding Segmentum.
Mm-hmm.
Although I will admit, when we did that big mini week long orc battle, I think I gave you guys like 500 XP for that one just to get it out there because I hadn't been giving you XP and you did defeat the big orc battle. I don't remember how much I gave you actually, but I know I gave you a bunch. At any rate,
we also sort of finished the Segmentum, or at least part of that chapter earlier than you intended by removing the operative from the board.
Yeah, which is fine.
But I'm not upset about the XP. I'm not like, it's just okay. It is what it is.
Well, I mean, like you guys doing what you did here, I did not plan for assault that ship to capture it. I didn't plan for that. Maybe that's my fault. Maybe it's something I should have seen coming.
Every time we have a space battle, we gain another ship, at least one.
Not true.
Every time
you didn't capture an orc ship.
That's true. We captured no orkiness.
Every time we engage a human vessel or human,
that's more accurate.
Yes.
Well, the best part, you didn't even acquire the fell hand through ship combat. You got that in a one-on-one duel, and then you went over to a ship and said, "This is ours now. Go fuck yourselves."
Yeah.
I mean, it also helped that their crew was significantly reduced because of warp travel shenanigans. That I rolled completely all like behind the screens, off screen. Anyway, we're getting off track. You are now, I believe, heading in towards the system. It's been a few days.
What I was going to ask is, in the days intervening, did we get any information off of the ship? I'm sure we would have looked. Was there any information on the ship about what they're doing on the Dead Gum Planet?
No. Assuming you take the time to look through the logs and decipher coded bullshit and working around systems that are banged up. These ships have been out here on patrol in the outer edges of the system, with specifically orders to keep any Van Bree ship from making it to the inner part of the system.
Hmm.
I mean, that much we could probably tell.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you see the actual orders for it. That sounds a little bit more official than the way I explained it. But basically,
Yeah.
these 3 ships were tasked with, hey, control the outer reaches of the system. Don't let any Van Bree ship into the system. If they are here, engage and destroy.
Yeah, let's keep that vagabond away from me.
Well, I'm sure they would have expected just a patrol or a trade ship at most.
Right. Which is why you only ran into 3 Hazaroths and not, like, I don't know, a sword class or 2.
I'm just curious how I only have a couple of ships with multiple planets, and this guy with one planet to his name has an entire multiple sword classes at his disposal.
Clearly, it's secret.
Clearly, listen, I'm just going to throw this out there. You were given a massive plot outline in one episode that may or may not involve you saying things like, well, that was a waste of time.
Did we say that?
No.
Yes.
Hmm.
I basically gave a plot dump as a vision that somebody was like, I could have just not had that vision and gotten exactly to the same point that I'm at right now.
Oh, with the what was it? The black ball of
Yeah, I forget what I called them too, but basically the Oracle of fucking the tree goo or whatever it was.
The Oracle of Fuck It. From now and forevermore.
The Oracle of Fuckery. At any rate, what would you like to do, Rev? Or shall we continue on to the next major point?
Unless anybody else has something they want to do on board ship between now and then.
I will point out that Yuko Bar, your replacement Seneschal, while adequately performing his duties, has been doing only that and then disappearing for the remainder hours of the day that he's not on duty or otherwise needed in order to, as he says, combat the stupid headache that never ends. And to be clear, he's not referring to, like, I don't like people and I'm calling them a headache. No, he's referring literally to the headache that never ends. He is our token migraine sufferer.
Well, he may be our token migraine sufferer, but his skills are also incredibly underwhelming.
On that note, I have spent XP on him, sir, because I said I meant to do it previously prior to last session and forgot, and I did it prior to this session.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
If I asked him to roll for a target lock, what would that look like?
What would I need to roll? Because I don't remember off the top of my head, and I don't remember what his skills are specifically.
Scrutiny.
Scrutiny?
Scrutinize that.
Where the fuck is scrutiny? Why can't I find scrutiny all of a sudden?
It's right there.
It's super
It's a
Can't look at you
perception
pointing at
based.
Scrutiny, perception. Yes, unfortunately, he still only has it at the basic level. It was not available to him yet.
Well, it was certainly available to my last Seneschal because it was one of the things he was better at.
Well, he also had a bit more experience in life. This one is still barely ranked 2. And when I say
Room
barely
for
ranked
growth.
2, let me see how many XP he's got. He is at 6,400.
Oh, yeah. He couldn't
He's
have even
barely
got scrutiny if he wanted
at
to.
rank 2.
Yeah, he couldn't have even got it if he wanted to.
Yeah. But the skills I did improve, he's better at.
I mean, you could always fire him and see what you get.
You could always just be like, "Hey, old man, I need you back. This guy, the guy you left for me, he's not quite up
Or
the
you
bar."
know, see if you can possibly scrounge somebody up from somewhere, I guess.
I'll put a couple more training levels and then a guardsman could replace him.
Probably not terribly wrong.
Do
They
they
just
have
wouldn't have the
scrutiny?
specific skills and talents.
Yes, they've been so helpful so far.
Well, you also haven't asked on him to do anything. At any rate, I take that back. You have asked him to get target locks, and he was good for 1 salvo.
Yes, and I would expect that if the seneschal was good at something, since I don't have his character sheet, that were we in the middle of a challenge that he could help with, that he would volunteer said information.
Oh, well, yeah, obviously. Like, things like knowing that the urban development, for lack of a better word, that your people have done on the surface of Taslak has all been underground. Because the surface and the atmosphere are pretty corrosive and acidic and shit.
Now, see, that would have been useful information when I was asking what we could expect in system.
Yeah, well, he told you that. This is,
No, he
this is
didn't.
information. No, listen, I'm telling you, I'd say that you know this in character because I forgot to tell you this previously when I described the system.
But now we know.
Now you know.
Because it's retroactively been done.
Bingo.
The level, what are we looking at for the level of industry and forces under our employ on?
So, there are
That's
2
what-
major land masses and a handful of islands in between them. One landmass is almost predominantly swamp, the other one is predominantly forest. From the swamps, there is a plant that is harvested for, let me refer to my notes because I don't remember which one's which now. Medicinal purposes probably, but let me double check.
Medicinal purposes.
He is medicinal. Yes. Swamplands provide curative agents that are extracted from the roots of a local plant grown in abundance throughout the swamps and thus cultivated. This curative is often used in creams and ointments that provide pain relief and burn treatment. The forests produce a fungus that is grown around the base of trees, and extracted from this fungus is a painkiller agent that can also be modified at the right dosage and concentrations to be used as a mild sedative. Both landmasses also have extensive mineral extraction infrastructure, providing industrial metals that are shipped back to Regius Prime for use in their forges for the Regius output. If you recall, the Regius output, of course, is what basically the grand sum total of yearly production on the planet for use within the Van Breeze.
Mm-hmm.
So, painkillers and burn treatment, sedatives, and then mineral extraction. And
Okay.
all of this is almost entirely underground because the atmosphere is, let me refer to my notes so I know what exactly to call it this time. Large occupied, moderate density atmosphere is present, but it is toxic to humans and most life not from this world. Full body suits are required, as breathing in this atmosphere requires challenging toughness tests per round, or suffer a point of damage that ignores toughness bonuses in armor. Suffocation also applies. Suffocation being the rule of this, the rule for suffocation as written in the World Trader.
So another good place for me to be wearing my void suit.
Correct.
Your highly specialized, awesome one.
Yes,
If you have
the
armored void
selenite
suits,
one.
that would be even better.
It is armored.
Yes.
It's
Otherwise,
the
I
best
think void suits have
It
like
is
a
the
1.
best crafted selenite void suit.
Ah, yes. So, how much closer would you like to get to the planet? I mean, it's not like you can smell it inside your ship from thousands of void units away, but you get the
Yes.
idea.
Well, I think we're closing at a. We're scan. I don't think additional ambushes are necessary, but we'll probably, not necessarily with speed, but with our sensors, show a modicum of caution, making sure that there's not a second pair of fangs in this
Okay.
mouth.
Would you attempt to make contact with the planet as you approach, or would you wait until you get into orbit?
Are there multiple scattered mining settlements, or is there one major settlement? Like what that was actually what I was asking before.
Yes, I apologize, and I didn't clarify that either. So you have a major city called Ferrisor that has a rough shaping of a starport on the surface of the planet, and then the city is below the surface. And then from there, in tunnels, is a network of highways and roads and whatnot that lead out to various other facilities across the 2 land masses to facilitate the extraction of the plants and the fungus and the various minerals and stuff.
The fungus among us.
Yes.
So if we are taking a shuttle, and I'm assuming there's a way that one would never have to be exposed to the atmosphere, in theory, if we landed our shuttle in some sort of pressurizable chamber.
So the way the facilities are constructed is you would land on the surface of the planet at the various landing pads, and then you would have to walk from the shuttle to effectively elevator concourse type situations that would then take you into pressurized and otherwise safe to breathe environments. So there is a brief time that you would have to be suited up, exposed to the local conditions. Now, the atmospheric pressure and gravity and all that are not a problem. It's just the atmospheric composition that is a problem.
Okay.
Temperature is also relatively mild or average or normal human sea. Obviously, different parts of the planet, hotter or colder based on where on that planet.
Right.
All
So
within normal temperature ranges. Oh, bear with me. I have to go and do something to the chat.
another spam bot.
That is certainly a word that can be used. Yes, I prefer to call them straight up as fucking asshole annoyances, but whichever.
Hey Omar, I need you to sign up on this other website for my Steam tournament. I need one more player. Just sign up and with your Steam information on this third party website, please.
Sure, I can do that. Is it Warhammer 40K? Please tell me it's Warhammer 40K. Before you make orbit, though, I need a sensors plus your ship's detection minus 20 test.
Who's our best sensor person? Is it
It's honestly I don't know. Sensor sound. I believe that's tech use, and Icarus is usually in the Enginarium.
But it's tech use and scrutiny, and I'm not sure that Altarios has scrutiny.
Well, you have a detection of 15 on your ship, so you get 15 added to whatever your, I assume, tech use.
I have scrutiny plus 10.
Let me see. Where is...
And that would be a 61.
Hang on 1 second. Let me see something here.
I thought you said before that it was a scrutiny plus tech use or scrutiny and tech use. It was a combination.
Okay, so active augury as an extended action scans the area surrounding the ship, scans successful GM, reveals basic blah 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 within 20 void units. So there is scrutiny there. Locking onto a target is a scrutiny. So it sounds like anytime you use your ship sensors, it would be your scrutiny plus the detection of the ship, the detection trait of the ship, which is again 15.
So 15 plus 64, go for it.
Minus 20, by the way.
Minus 20?
Correct. And I'll
So
explain what all this
61
means.
minus 5 is 56.
Correct. And I'll
Has it been
explain
long
what
enough
all
to
these things are in just a
I didn't give my plus 10 to Altarios, so
Okay,
You
so that'd
can
be
give them a plus 10 in
66.
this case because it is several days later as you're approaching the planet at what you might consider to be a high orbit.
I will use a fate point
Okay.
to make it 76.
Okay.
I will spend another fate point.
you and sensors are not getting along this.
No, doesn't seem that way.
So that is one fail, and then here we go. Here's the second roll. 70. What was your target? 76 or something like that?
Yep, 76.
Okay. You are on approach, and as you approach this planet, I need to do something kind of silly here, so let's go green. See how big I can make this marble. That's literally as big as it gets. Okay. It's over here. All right, and then.
What did you? By the way, what did you say the
that's
capital?
I'm gonna spell it in TTS chat. That's the city.
Pharisor?
Yep. That
Didn't we
actually
used to-
means something, but I don't remember what it is. Ferris
Pharisor.
is either US or OS, but it's actually got a Latin base
I
to
was
it.
gonna make to Warner. I
Pardon
was
me.
gonna make a joke to Warner. Didn't we used to play with that guy in MechWarrior?
No.
Okay. So you got a success. What was your? I'm sorry. What was your target number? Your 76.
Yeah.
Okay, so you get a success, but not much. So as you approach Taslak 5, you note that there are 2 Tempest-class strike cruisers in orbit. There seems to be, for lack of a better way to explain this, imagine staring at a TV or a radar screen or something like that, and you're getting the sensor returns of these 2 ships, but you're also getting, imagine a black and white screen, and you got the 2 white dots, fairly large, representing these 2 ships as a signal return, and then between them are several specks of little white flashy bits that are difficult to discern what that means.
Captain, we've got a problem.
Actually, I'm going to reset this map. Or not.
The
map, but-
question is the problem troubles that can be shot, or
Yes.
troubles that cannot?
Hopefully they can be.
Well, in that case, I might
We've-
be your
we've got-
troubleshooter.
2 Tempest strike cruisers in our way.
Well, as I recall, unless we're using some different designation, cruisers as a whole basically weight class above what we are.
Wait, there's 3?
No, that didn't do what I was supposed to do. Okay. No, you only got 3, or 2 rather. You only see the 2. So if you're, again, to reiterate, you have 2 Tempest-class strike cruisers. Your ship's computer machine spirits, guides, the augur spirits or whatever, identify them as Tempest-class. Tempest-class, sorry. They, on your radar return or whatever signal returns you get, they are both identifying as, these big white splotches against a otherwise black grayish background, but between the 2 of them and extending a little bit to either side is a bunch of minuscule white static bits that are not necessarily strobing or flashing, but they're doing like static. We've all seen static TV. But that's what your sensor returns are giving back.
Okay, so there's something also in between them that I am unable to determine, Lord Captain. Maybe little ships? I don't know. Yeah, get the
Something
parallel
happened to
out of
Rev?
there.
I'm here.
Okay.
I'm just trying to figure out how someone with essentially a smaller domain than mine has this many assets at his disposal.
These are fair questions. But not all questions have answers readily available.
Do we see at this range? Can we see any insignia on the ship yet?
Perhaps
they-
some hidden hand props them up.
Hidden hand props them up.
Well, House Hanet is not the fell hand, but anyway.
No, they are. If I recall correctly, House Hanet is a black fist on a blue field. It is difficult to make out, but given the fact that you have encountered clearly Hanet ships in the outer system, that these are probably also Hanet ships.
Do we see any symbol on them?
Presently, with 1 degree of success, not yet.
Okay. Let me know when I can roll that again.
Well, I think by the time that you can, it will be readily apparent who they are not with. Let me rephrase that: who they are or are not with. There we go. With that, I give you guys the choice: do we start ship combat this round or this session, or do we
I
move
think
on
we
to the next
hold
one?
off.
Yeah. I think Rev is sitting there going, how the fuck does this guy have so many ships and I have but 4? And I'm waiting on 2 of them to make an appearance at some point in the future.
No, I'm simply evaluating the situation.
Are Tempest Strike cruisers bigger or smaller than the Acheron's ferry?
Much bigger.
Yeah.
Much
They
bigger?
are in the 4-kilometer range of full length,
Okay.
if I recall correct. I can look it up.
So, what about compared to the fell hand? Or, I'm sorry, severed hand.
That one
So
was
the-
also a Dauntless, which I think is roughly the same size as you guys.
Yes.
Okay, so possibly a new flagship?
I like how his thought is not, oh my god, we're about to die, but hey, boss, new flagship.
Well, our only advantage, if they are what they appear to be,
I apologize, by the way. The Tempest class strike frigates are 1.5 kilometers. I misspoke when I said that they were cruisers. What do I have them marked as? They are marked as cruisers. They're supposed to be frigates. I apologize.
Okay. So we have a sword class frigate. So these
Correct.
are similar in size to our ship.
Correct. Let me double check my notes to make sure that's not crazy either. Yeah. So these are roughly 1.5 kilometers. So they're about the same size as you.
Oh, okay.
Your scans haven't come back with any like specific
They're-
weapon loadouts or anything of that nature, but
I thought the fell hand was bigger than the Acheron ferry.
it is. The Fellhand is a Dauntless class light cruiser.
Oh.
And Dauntless, stand by. I'm pretty sure Dauntless is
Yes,
a
light cruiser
Yeah.
is Dauntless.
Yes, and the Dauntless was 4.5 kilometers long. And has a prow, a port, and a starboard weapon fitting. But we'll get into what the Dauntless can provide or not provide when it's time for the Severed Hand to make an appearance. I do have a specific point in time when that will happen, by the way.
Hmm.
It's just not right now. Is that
The Tempests have similar capabilities to the sword. Some things are slightly better, other things are slightly worse.
Okay. So never mind about the comment about new flagship.
Yep.
Probably not a flagship. That said, still
So
somewhat worrisome.
can we try and get both of them?
I mean, if you capture them, sure. I don't see why not. I'm not opposed to you guys trying to amass this massive armada. It will change the scale of opponents you encounter in the future, but that's probably an easy thing to ascertain.
For the sake of easier storytelling on your part, the massive armada will be eventually dispersed amongst the different worlds
Oh, I figured.
and,
Yeah,
and trade
of
routes
course.
under my control.
I figured you would only be keeping a few ships in your direct control for purposes of your movement through space.
Now,
The
is
rest
this
of them would
is
be augmenting your otherwise domain list of ships.
Yeah, I figure we'll get one more the size of the Perilos to flank the Acheron ferry, and then the rest of them will be for planetary defense.
Or in the case of like that pilgrim ship, that could easily be turned into either troop
A
transport
merchant,
or cargo.
yeah, mercantile.
Yeah. So just to verify though, the consensus is wait until next week to continue a new round of ship battles.
I mean, I'm
Seems
good with
wise to
starting
me.
it now, but we
Given the
got
time.
45 minutes.
I leave it to the group to decide. Alterios,
Do
what's
we-
your thoughts?
we'd have about one turn of space combat unless we have a turn of closing. Alterios, are you up for a little more, or do you want to call it a night? I think you're the deciding vote here.
Alterios?
Sorry. He's late.
I'm sorry?
You late. Passed out.
Yeah, I think that settles that.
Okay.
Not to beat anybody up. I feel like that right there answers our question. I think let's wait until next week to get back into the ship shooting.
Yeah.
Okay. In that case, let's do 300 experience points for everybody because you did complete the first encounter successfully with adding potentially a new ship and possibly later on profit factor. Alterios, because you are, let's just say, the one most closest to going to bed. Let's start with you for feedback, outro comments. What do you got for us?
Yay, more ship combat. What is the orb?
Oh, that's the planet.
Planet.
That's the planet
Oh.
itself. It's there as a graphic representation.
Okay, I was afraid there was a Death Star, and I'm like, no, we don't need that.
I almost spit my drink out when you said that.
It is an ornery little orb.
I wonder, can I get it to be any bigger than that? I probably could.
Yeah, it just takes up the whole.
Ah!
Perfect, actually.
No. Make it where it's scaled up to the proper size compared to our ships.
Oh God, no, that would be horrendous.
I know that was the joke.
I can do this. Nope, it's gonna make it come up to the top of this table. Okay, whatever. Let's see.
So, what is everybody at for their total XPs after that additional 300? If my
I
unless my math is wrong, I'm looking at 13.5. Or sorry, 13.3. I can't count tonight.
That sounds about right.
I am looking at 13. Two.
Yeah, sounds about right.
13,200.
So we probably are at 13.3.
Let me see. What
Okay.
is once I put Anastasia's in? Okay, that didn't pull up. There it is. Okay. Yeah. No, she's actually. Oh, that's right. I spent the first several sessions with my NPC characters only getting half XP instead of full. That's why she's so far behind you guys. But that checks out though. Alterios, any feedback, outro comments before you fall asleep on us? And
I probably had one, but I don't remember it. I will make a comment on how it's probably okay for the NPCs to get half XP because we don't really use them for anything.
I
We
missed
used
like
the
the last little.
Seneschal and the Navigator.
Well, I think my thought process at the time, and I think it was Darius actually, that was like, why they're being played about as much as everybody else is, or getting roughly the same amount of screen time, plus or minus a little bit. But my initial thought process was because they were NPCs and they weren't as active as the player characters were, as far as like always being there, so to speak, it was best to just give them half XP. But then
Well, the
Darius
reason
go ahead, Rev.
I was gonna say the reason I'm not utilizing them as much is because they are not very useful.
Less useful. Yes. That's the thing about giving partial XP, is that the longer a campaign goes on, the wider the gulf gets,
Yeah.
and the less likely you are to make use of
Yes. And
said
I
support
think
characters.
Yeah.
with Yunko Bar, I'm
Well,
considering.
because I think
What?
Thale had a few levels, didn't he? And like we never used him for anything.
Who's that?
Yes, I used him
Yes,
for
we
ship
did.
combat.
Marcellus?
Yeah. Do we?
Yeah.
He was used a bit in some combat. He was used otherwise. He was prominent in a number of scenes, especially in the very beginning, because he was the one that ostensibly brought everybody together or coordinated for everybody to arrive at Port Wander initially.
We didn't have to make any rolls for that though.
No, but he was active. Like, I mean, not for nothing. If you haven't figured it out, like Marcellus Thale was used specifically in this campaign for the time that he's been here as a he was my exposition guy, effectively. Anything I
Yeah.
needed to explain in the game, that was his purpose. As far as like the lore and the background. Unless it was something like initially it was Obrestre who set you guys up for the initial go find the treasure ship. And then it was back to Marcellus, who was like, all right, well, now we need to go back to our home world that I'm about to be the governor of once we get back there and you're made the actual lord of Vambri's domain. And then once he was retired, so to speak, Yunko Bar was supposed to take over. And even though we haven't really seen it on camera, Yunko Bar is carrying the Bible, which is what I've been referring to, a very specific data slate that Marcellus Thale had for a long time. That is basically his list of contacts, his Rolodex, his records, all of his master source of information that would be used as a prop or a in-game tool to justify why he would know a thing. So if it was like, hey, why does this house not do this thing, and is there a historical reason? Yes, actually there is. Let me refer to my data slate that has all my information in it. And he would pull it up as a prop or what have you. And now Yunko Bar has that same data slate. Which is why
Those-
Yunko Bar
The same
knows
one or a copy of it?
it's the same, it's the actual data slate. With all of the previous records and information in it. This hasn't really come up yet, but well, I bring it up because when I mentioned the Taslak having all the underground facilities and things of that nature, Yunko Bar has that information in his data slate that he would have brought that up at some, if this was a TV show, this is one of those conversations that might have happened off camera.
Mm-hmm.
Because it doesn't always need to have a full exposition dump in the middle of a TV show, especially when shells are being shot from one ship to the other. But for all intents and purposes, Yunko Bar was supposed to replace Marcellus Thale in that regard. So, of course, he gets Marcellus's data slate, quote-unquote, the Bible.
Yeah.
So
Bible.
Marcellus definitely had his use. Anastasia had her use. She's also the navigator, and as much as I would love for her to go on the ground and do combat stuff on the ground with you guys, it absolutely does not make it. Rather, it makes a lot of sense for her to stay on the ship because she is such a unique / important figure for the ship's function. I think Warner was trying to say something there.
No, just the navigator staying with the ship absolutely makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, it's sort of a point of interest if you play a navigator for you to be along with the group.
Yeah, like it's definitely one of those things when, especially when you look at like Owlcat role creator game, where you have the navigator as part of your crew, and you're like, would my navigator really be down here in the front lines with me shooting all these things? Probably not. Not in real life. She's, a crucial piece of the ship's function to get from one system to the next.
You would have had to make that argument though, if someone played it, because I don't think you would want to do these characters over here having the fun. Meanwhile, back
No,
on the
if
ship.
I was the player character controlling Anastasia as a player character, no, I'd be like, no,
Absolutely.
we have a secondary Lord Captain I'm going with you. I'm going to use my lidless stare and scare the absolute bejesus and fatigue everybody, and also 2d10 plus 6 damage, or whatever her fucking lidless stare does. When I say avert thine eyes, you best avert them. You might be getting blasted too. Yeah, you best believe I definitely took 2 levels in that fucking ability that I have not been able to use.
Would be
If
fine.
our ship is boarded,
Yes.
somebody's getting the lidless stare.
Oh, absolutely. That's not her only navigator ability, by the way. It just so happens to be her most potent one. Aside from, navigating the warp at something close to a 90% chance of success. At any rate, any other... We kind of jumped all over the place here, but any other feedback, outro, comments?
I did look up the plasma drives. Those are in fact the engines.
Ah. Oh well. It's a moot
It
point now.
was too late by then anyway. So.
Yeah. Just like when I
Boo, Endor
realized...
hiss.
Just like
Now
when I
we know.
realized earlier today that I think I said, I don't think it's a 1d10 roll, but fuck it, let's roll 1d10. I said something along those lines last week.
Mm-hmm.
And then today, reviewing my notes, I saw it in my actual notes when I took my summary of space combat, and it says, if there's a critical hit, roll 1d5. I was like, motherfucker. And then I looked in the book and found where it actually says, roll 1d5.
Yeah.
Oh well.
So did our profit factor go up any?
Not yet.
Okay.
The justification for that is you have the stuff, you still have to sell the stuff in order to get the profit.
Okay.
So, but that will be updated. Your profit factor will be changing soon. And I'm going to... You know what? I'll just say, your profit factor will be changing soon. ...
Ellipsis.
Take that. I like the way you
Yes.
said that.
Ellipsis. Very nice.
Rev, you got anything?
No, I thought about contacting the planet, but we'll save that for next time, I suppose.
Sure. All right, in that case, stay safe out there, my friends. This world is a grimdark and crazy. And frankly, there are times when I'm wondering what my kids are going to inherit from us. But it's that kind of a world, so stay safe. Do what you got to do to take care of you and yours. As for me and mine, we're out of here. We're going to go find something else to do as we upload this video. And then give Darius more shit about having Battletech stuff in the background of a Warhammer-based game. Stay safe, my friends. We'll see you next time. Have a good one.
Auf Wiedersehen.
That's not a planet. That's a station.
Goodbye.